Hey guys, so I do apologize if you hear any vroom vroom, sounds, those are the vibrational notifications that come in on your phone when you get like emails or texts and stuff like that. So I do apologize about that in advance if you hear that. But I wanted to come on here because this Tuesday we will see the premiere on Netflix, all 6 episodes of the Mr. McMahon documentary series, the Docu-Series, if you will, that they are doing. Basically, it's Bill Simmons. I think that's who's behind it. The guy that's done work for ESPN 30 for 30, and the people behind Tiger King. They're the ones that, together along with Simmons, bringing this out and bringing it to Netflix. And basically, the last thing we heard, and I heard about this during a edition of Tuesday Night Titans with JD from NY206 of Off the Script and Jason Solomon, the Solomonster of Solomonster Sounds Off. Tuesday Night Titans can be seen on Tuesdays a little around the 5 o'clock hour on JD from NY206 Off the Script channel. But anyway, they mentioned this. They talked about it, and essentially what JD mentioned in what he was reading is that this looks like it could be a massive burial piece on Vince McMahon. And in case you guys don't know what that means, that basically means it's when it's all said and done, McMahon's not going to be looked at in a much better light than he already is. He might as well just be put in a very dark, self-contained padded cell, for, I guess, what's going to be revealed here. But yeah, that's what people were reporting based on what is going to be shown and everything. And a lot of people were curious as to why WWE would let this happen, just months away from the Netflix debut. I think the reason they're letting this happen is because, one, they are months, almost a year, but basically months, removed. Them, TKO and WWE and Endeavor as a whole, Ari Emanuel and all of them as a whole are, basically, they are essentially, divorced from McMahon they've been divorced from McMahon for the past year or so now. And they pretty much feel, I guess, that things are good enough for them to allow this docuseries, to debut on Netflix. But before then, the defendant, Janel Grant, the one that's in the center of the storm here with McMahon, had a press release issued ahead of the documentary or the docuseries. And I want to give a shout out to Alex's World on Facebook, Alex's World on YouTube, just Alex. He posted this on September 18th, about 4 days ago. And this is what the press release said. And I quote, Janel Grant, former WWE employee and SA survivor, brings on PR firm SKDK ahead of Vince McMahon Netflix docu-series premiere. SKDK has previously worked with the survivors of Harvey Weinstein, Marilyn Manson, Jeffrey Epstein, and the former employees of the Washington Commanders. Washington, D.C. Attorneys, or basically that's where it's located. Washington, D.C. Attorneys for Janel Grant, the former WWE employee and SA survivor, who has filed a lawsuit against former WWE CEO Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and the WWE organization, has retained the services of SKDK's Kendra Barkoff Lamy ahead of the September 25th premiere of the Netflix McMahon docu-series. Barkoff Lamy and SKDK have previously represented the survivors of Harvey Weinstein, Marilyn Manson, Jeffrey Epstein, and more. They also supported the former employees of the Washington Commanders in the lawsuit against then owner Dan Snyder, which led to the sale of the team. Grant continues to retain the services of the agency group. Grant continues to retain the services of the agency group. Below is a statement from Barkoff Larry. Oh, not Larry. Is it Larry? Let me see. Make sure. Lamon. Barkoff Lamon. Sorry. It's Kendra Barkoff Lamon. Okay. Barkoff Lamon issued a statement concerning this. She says, and I quote, Janel Grant, or they say, and I quote, Janel Grant is a survivor of the incompatible SA in human human, I don't want to say it, but, because I have it blanked out here. But basically human, I guess you could say disrespect, we'll put it that way, at the hands of Vince McMahon, John Laurinaitis, and the WWE. She has courageously come forward to seek justice for herself and other survivors, and we are honored to support her in sharing her story. It takes immense strength to speak out against Goliath, and we encourage all survivors of SA and human disrespect to seek the support they need. And Alice, attorney for Janel Grant, also issued the following statement. SKDK has a proven track record of uplifting survivors of SA and human disrespect. We look forward to our partnership in seeking justice on behalf of our client, Janel Grant. Now, one could question why did she bring this out now? Why did they release this now? Just mere days away, basically about 7 days a week before the debut on Netflix. And that is a good question. There's a lot of people that read that, on Alex's Facebook page. I'm sure I've read it online through Twitter, formerly X. Formerly, Twitter, or X, I should say, formerly Twitter. Excuse me. I'm a little tired. But I'm sure people have read, I'm sure they've read it on there. They've read it all across social media. I'm sure people on YouTube, at various podcasts, Rumble, and all that have talked about this and given their opinions. And some agree with what she's doing and are in support for her. And some, believe it or not, are actually against her. And they're saying that all this really is about getting money. Getting money that she wasn't owed or she wasn't paid. And look, there's too much, I'll put it this way, there's too much evidence to prove, that she's wrong, okay? There's too much evidence to prove that she's wrong because she's not. She does have maybe some situations tied into this outside of the SA and the human disrespect that she went through. She does have some things tied into this that don't make her look good. I do admit that. But I think if you were to, ask anybody upon telling them what this was about, giving them the full context of what they would side with her. They would side with her, through and through. They would side with her, and they would say that she has a right to sue, WWE. She has a right to sue Vince McMahon, probably put him behind bars. Same with John Laurinaitis. Not just because of what they did to her, but because they stopped making payments. It's kind of like, I don't like using this as a comparison, but it's kind of like, you being a father and everything, and not being man enough, being a father enough to send support to the mother of your children, as they grow. And when you stop doing that, the mother of your children has the right to take you to court to get the money you owe back to her. That's a fact. That is a fact. I mean, I'll give you an example. It's kind of a strange example, but my niece is who's in her 30s right now, early 30s. My niece is still getting, by law, by the court's law, is getting back payments of support that was owed to her mom, my older sister, back when she was younger, from her father, from her original father. She's still getting payments for that. And that's basically, again, as crazy as a similarity that might be, that's basically what's going on here. Janel Grant is wanting what's owed to her. She's wanting what's owed to her, but she also wants justice to be served. She wants McMahon. She wants Laurinaitis. She wants anybody involved, within WWE or within McMahon's circle that were part of this. She wants them to be punished. She wants them to be punished. She wants them to serve hard time behind bars. She wants them to, pay. If that won't happen, she wants them to pay financially in a big way, not just to her, but to everybody else they put through a similar, situation throughout their tenure in WWE. She just wants overall justice and a message to be sent to anybody else that, like McMahon, who thinks, oh, I'm a billionaire, I can get away with anything I want. That basically you are wrong. You're wrong about that because it don't matter how high in the totem pole you are financially. And that even goes for potential future presidents, whether we want to admit that or not. But you get what I'm coming from, right? That's what she wants. That's what she wants. And again, there are people that are thinking, oh, she just wants money. Yeah, she wants money. She wants the money that's owed to her, and she wants money owed to those that went through something similar. She wants justice for them at the same time. Now, here's the thing. Will the judge look at this and be like, Janelle, I'm 100% on your side, or I'm 80% on your side, but there's also that 20% of me that also feels that you need to take responsibility as well for what's going on because you allowed it. And that could be something that, if the judge says something like that to her, that might cause her to have to pay something back in return. Like the money she might get, she might have to pay back, in return to either to the law office that's helping her, or maybe pay out to the other victims that also had to sign NDAs because of what happened. That might be something that comes her way because, again, the judge could say, hey, I'm totally on your side, except there's a part of me that also knows that you allowed this to happen, that you allowed yourself to be part of this willingly, so you're going to have to pay a price as well. You'll have to pay a fine. You'll have to take the money that you're going to get from McMahon and pay it out to those other women that signed NDAs as well that went through similar situations. So I could see a situation like that happening. I could. But I think the reason also why she put this out there this time is she wants to send a message to the world that, WWE might be divorced. WWE, TKO, Endeavor, they might be, divorced from Vince McMahon permanently, but they're not out of the woodwork yet. And that there's a lot more that's going to be discovered. And whether or not it affects people that we feel are doing a great job behind the scenes with WWE right now or not, that's going to be the question. That's going to be the question, like, is it going to affect Paul Levesque? Is it going to affect Stephanie McMahon? Is it going to affect maybe any potential, situation for AEW when it comes to Shane? We don't know. Will it affect Linda McMahon? We don't know. Will it affect any other people that worked alongside him? Will it affect Bruce Pritchard? We don't know. These are all questions that I wouldn't say immediately, but down the line could be answered. And I think that's why she's also doing this, to kind of shed the light that, WWE is not going to get off so easily, in this situation. And that they too have to take responsibility financially and from an integral standpoint. And I think at the end of the day, that's why this press release was done. For that very instant. And everything. So that Netflix, and I think honestly, in my opinion, she probably feels that if Netflix sees this or reads this, that they'll realize that what you're doing is, great. Like, hey, go ahead and, expose the bastard for the lowlife he is, but also don't use it to glorify your new partner in January in WWE, and that you need to keep an eye on them just as much, as anything else. And I think again and I believe that's another reason why she's doing it, so that she can send a message to Netflix of, hey, what you're doing to expose this bastard for the lowlife he is, that's great, but don't think doing this is going to, sweeten your relationship with WWE anymore, because you got to keep an eye on them because they're just as much part of this as Vince was. So I think that's the other reason. But we'll see. Now, some have said, in their own opinion, that she basically put this out there to potentially protect her own butt. Because, again, as I said earlier, there are some that don't agree with what she's saying. Some feel she's making this all up. Some say she's just mad because Vince stopped sending her money and she just wants her money, and that nothing really happened. There are people that believe that. I mean, heck, there are some WWE Hall of Famers, maybe some current stars as well, that, believe Vince over her more so than anything. And, that's a shame and that's shocking. But, you look at, the society we're in today, and people will look at someone like Janelle and be like, oh, she just wants money. Nothing probably really happened. She just wants money. But there's too much evidence, though. The thing that counters that is there's too much evidence about what happened. Too much evidence. And when you have so much fire coming from the smoke that it was burning from, to the point that it's almost like a raging inferno, burning in the core of a volcano, getting ready for it to burst, burst its top and basically destroy everything in its path. When you have that kind of evidence, then basically it's hard not to believe that something happened and it wasn't good. It wasn't good. But anyway, that's just my thoughts on, what's going on here with this whole thing. Let me know what your thoughts are. Comment below. Live chat during the premiere if you haven't already. Like the video. Comment down below. Ring the bell for notifications. Subscribe to the channel. But give me your thoughts, guys. Love to hear your Love to hear what you had to think about this. Where do you stand on it? And until next time, I will talk to y'all later. God bless. Take care. But give me your thoughts. This will be interesting as we go into the premiere this Tuesday.